Howdy, DC On Screen fans. How would you like a piece of original artwork from one of us here at DC On Screen?
All right, we're aware that you've never thought of that before, but here's the deal. We need your help because the internet is a giant monster that requires numbers and regular feeding times. And then these algorithm things that are like our personal demons that we can't defeat alone. Do the right thing. Go over to iTunes. Give us a 5-star review or a more honest review if you feel absolutely led to. And then email us at dconscreen@gmail.com. What we're going to need you to do is just write in an address. Tell us who you are. Give us whatever address you want us to send you something at. You know, if you don't want us to know where you live, send it to your neighbors and go steal his mail, whatever.
Yeah.
Just give us that, and then we need you to write Dave or Jason, and then we need you to write the name of a character. We're going to send you a piece of artwork. All I can say about it is that one of us is a good artist and one of us is not. If you've actually been listening to every episode, you might know the secret answer to that, to who you should really ask. But hey, or toss a coin.
Man, you know, once you get the picture from us, take a picture of it or scan it or something, and send it back to us, and we'll put it on Facebook, just like we do with your DC loot.
Yeah, send it back with like critiques if you want to. We don't give a fuck, you know. Draw over it, you know. Pull a Deadpool. Right? Whatever.
One of us might cry.
We'll both probably cry. But whatever. Point is, you know, it's come that time. It's the classic call to action. We need to get out there. We need to get a little bit of the review game going. And this is our humble offering.
Yeah, humble offering. Very humble. I couldn't say it any better myself, man. That was a good pitch.
Oh, thank you.
All right, with that said, settle in for a new episode of DC On Screen. Welcome into DC On Screen. I am your host, David C. Robertson. This is my co-host, Jason.
Hey.
And this episode, we are talking Lucifer 105, Manly Whatnots.
Are we already at 105?
Yeah.
Oh, 104.
So.
104.
Is it 104?
Wishful thinking. Wishful thinking on your part that you were already to 5.
Wow.
Yeah. Have you enjoyed this so little that time is starting to have no meaning?
What is happening?
I don't know. I'm looking at it right now, though, man. It's 104.
Huh.
Manly Whatnots.
Oh. 104. Yeah, okay. I thought you were saying the episode was 104 Wishful Thinking.
Oh, God, no.
I'm an idiot.
No.
God, yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay.
We're back. We're back, baby.
Yeah.
I think I can at this point sum up how we feel about it with a quote from Scott Madison. He called this a hate watch.
Right.
A term I've never heard before, but it made instant and wonderful sense.
Right. Well, we might as well jump and say this. Scott also says, I can suspend disbelief enough to roll with the devil. Quitting hell and living it up in L.A. is harder for me to accept that the LAPD would tolerate a detective going off the books for 2 cases in a row. He's only on episode 2, by the way. It gets worse. Carrying around some random civilian who grossly contaminates every crime scene and severely impedes multiple investigations. Luckily, in TV world, no police department has any rank of lead character on this particular show.
Right.
So they never have to worry about answering to anybody.
Generally, yeah. The exception is usually like you've got the chief or the commish or whoever it is, but they only have to answer to the one person, and that person usually likes you just enough anyway. You know, you're the underdog he wishes he could be.
Right, which I don't think is the case in this one.
No, there just doesn't seem to be anyone actually directing her daily activities at all.
No, not at all.
I'm starting to think that there's a chance that she's not actually a detective at all, and this is just an elaborate fantasy that she lives in.
Well, you know, I wouldn't be a bit surprised, honestly.
It'll be a nice twist in episode 7. You haven't worked for the department in 8 years.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my first note on this episode is Chloe takes shower, has intense, vivid, and overly dramatic memory.
Right. Yeah. Music's still good. Reminds me of Suits, actually. Whoever's doing the music on this thing. If you just take the soundtracks from the episodes, you'll enjoy it.
That's interesting.
Like, go Shazam this thing and just listen to whatever's on that list. They do that now. It's a really cool feature. You can Shazam TV now.
Well, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm really hating, what's his name? Dan? Jason Blood?
Oh, yeah. I don't even know what his name is.
Like, I'm really disappointed in you, Chloe. I'm like, oh, shut up. But we did learn that she's not divorced; they're just separated. I didn't know that. I guess that's a new thing.
That was weird. And I mean, it's kind of a dick move though. He barges in the house. It looks like the same as she does. Or the same as Lucifer does. Whatever, fine. You get there. I know it's a weird scene and all, but the girl just told you like several times we're not sleeping together, and he confirmed it, and you're still like, oh, I'm so disappointed. Just come on, do something more interesting with your life. Show.
Yeah, which the fact that they're just separated kind of bothers me a little bit. That their daughter is so into Lucifer and her mom getting together. I'm just like, don't you have any hope for your? Okay.
Why don't you miss your daddy? I'm confused.
Yeah, that's a little weird. It's a little weird.
Yeah, like, he's just the guy who takes her to school a lot.
Well, maybe she doesn't care because he's a dick.
Right. An assuming dick.
I was annoyed by Lucifer's revelation in therapy where he says, I need to behave like I always have. That's why she doesn't respond to my charms.
Yeah.
But you were responding like you always did when you first met.
Yeah.
I actually wrote down, Lucifer can't be this stupid.
My exact note was, gotta get laid, bro. Ugh, boring.
Mm-hmm. And then dating seminar.
It wanders into a frat film here for a second.
Yeah.
And
then the dating seminar, I write down, Lucifer can't be this stupid.
Oh, but he can.
He's Lucifer, man. I mean, he's supposed to be smart.
I mean, yeah, I think clever's supposed to be at least on the list of attributes, at the very least. Man, and he still cracks me up, but there's just so much lack of show happening around it. I'm not impressed.
Yeah, no, I've stopped laughing. Like, there's nothing funny about it anymore. It's just a weary sigh.
There'll be like little moments I like. I mean, he gets the little counter girl's number, and the guy asks him about it, and he just he just hands over the number. Use it wisely. Okay, it was a funny moment.
Yeah, and how does that help?
I don't know. You got a number though. It's on you now. It's on you.
Yeah, that dude is going to like call her, and she's gonna be like, "Who the hell is this?" and then hang up.
Right. He's not getting anywhere with this. He's gonna have to really pull something off.
And
whatever.
If on the off chance that she actually does say, okay, well, what the hell, let's meet up, she's going to see him and go, okay, no.
Yeah.
You're not the tall, devilish guy I gave my number to. Sorry.
Yeah.
Bye.
This does not end well for that poor guy. Oh, unless it's in the sense that he's infatuated with her and he's just got to get that out of his system, get told no, and move on with his life. In which case, yay! See, at this point, we're trying to flesh out some character that's like got just enough lines to qualify for a fucking SAG card, and that's how much show we've got to play with.
This is out of desperation, folks.
all right. I can name some things though that are finally doing something. That fight was really not bad.
Between Amenadiel and Mezakine?
Yeah. Between the two unpronounceable names? Yeah. That actually was... Yeah. That showed promise. Let's do more of the fights.
Absolutely. I am loving the actor that plays Amenadiel.
He's good. Her corrective face-licking technique, whatever the hell that's supposed to insinuate. He did a pretty good job of being subtle about that, but, he gave you in one look, like, there's going to be more going on here. These two are... Oh, yeah. These two are going to have something.
He wanted a little something.
He wants that. I don't blame him. But, yeah, the fight, good stuff. Something I actually really liked. The fact that he had his wings cut off, and he's actually, shy about that. Like, the please don't look when she's about to touch the scarred part. So, I kind of like that.
Yeah, that was...
interesting. A little bit of character that might come out. Let's do some more of that kind of stuff, guys. Do some more of that.
I was annoyed that Chloe is now suddenly very attracted to Lucifer just because apparently, based on her reactions, he has a big dick.
He did seem probably overly endowed.
I mean, I would suspect no less, but
right.
That's
what
showrunners.
That's what you're gonna write into this character. It has to be.
Yeah. I did think it was really interesting that he was so weird about her touching his scars, and also
He looked like
those scars are
he looked
so
fragile
big.
even when he's talking about it. Like it's not
Those
even
scars are so big.
yeah.
How has some woman or several women not already touched those scars, just grabbing his back?
I actually thought
As
about
he
that,
thrusts into them.
and it's
Like,
a little bit of headcanon, but here's my idea. Everyone else kind of wants to sleep with him so hard that they don't give a damn, and it's never come up. And even if they do grab him, I don't think he's like sensitive about some lady he just met touching his back. It means nothing to him. But for her, like he's starting to get actually a little infatuated with her, so he didn't want her to get into his sensitive place yet. I'll give it that.
Maybe.
I'll give it that and see if it goes there. Because
Okay.
he doesn't even tell her no in the way he would normally tell her no. He tells her don't please. Like he asks her not to go there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very fragile moment. I liked it. I really like that he's changing physically. Like I mean the scene at the end where she actually shoots him was not bad for a second. His speech there was kind of I really like that. But the fact that he can bleed, the fact that he can get injured, that could be finally going somewhere. If they explore all of that, and there was a little bit of mention of maybe going back home at some point. Like, yes, can we go to hell, please? Let's take the show into all that, because it'll get me as far away from this LAPD as possible.
Yeah, it's bad, man.
That's
I did enjoy him saying that's the stuff of movies and TV. They always get it wrong.
Right.
As I went, exactly. You did get it wrong.
yeah.
Almost felt like they were making fun of themselves.
Yeah, man, I give him this though. Like you watch that last scene and the showdown scene, and my two thoughts are one, who the hell taught her that accent, and where can I find them? They need slapped. And two, man, he actually does look pretty damn menacing. Like I like the look on his face when he's about to inflict real terror.
Why do humans always think that they can rectify one form of evil with another?
Right.
That was good.
That was.
What wasn't good is I actually cared enough this time to pause it when he actually went devil face on her.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a dude with no skin.
Yeah. I mean...
That's lame.
Well, not if somebody actually did it to you.
Well, not if someone actually did it to you, but, I mean, it's Satan. Why?
I'm assuming that's the really fleshed down version of this. I'm guessing when he kind of wants to stretch his wings, it's worth seeing.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I don't know if we're talking about Dante's creature or anything, but come on. There's got to be more to that. I actually did like when he's, she asked him earlier, like, what's it like when you get shot? And he just flicks her on the shoulder. A bit like that.
Yeah, it was fun.
Cute moment. I mean, the thing it needed to do was get some bigger pieces moving quickly, very quickly, and at least, I know we're still a little bit bored with it right now, but I could see myself enjoying the show if a couple of the things that they started to stretch their legs maybe on this episode. If that keeps going, we might be looking at something. But it has to move quick, man.
Unfortunately, they've introduced Chloe's boss, and she's gorgeous, so of course she's going to have sex with Lucifer, and that's going to become a thing.
Yeah.
I don't see any way out of that. I really don't. I feel like that's just where it's heading now.
Well, apparently he can at will, because that's just one of his little superpowers. But aside from her, no one's ever told him no. So yeah, I can see that. And you know what's going to bore me about that? You're going to have a whole episode about, I can't believe you slept with my boss.
Yeah, it's going to be like her denying that she's jealous, and him saying, "Oh,
why do you care,
jealous detective?"
Right.
I thought you didn't care.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll be bored with that whenever it happens. But
And the little kid, man, since you shot Lucifer, it must mean you really like him. Again, why? Why do you want this, kid? This is awful.
Why don't you miss your father?
Two Christmases, yay!
You know what happened? She doesn't miss her father because she sat down and watched season 2 of Arrow, and now she's ashamed of him.
Yep, that's what happened. Oh, man. And Lucifer is excited about becoming human again. The fun has just begun, he says.
I dug that.
Mazikeen not interested in this. Not happy about it.
I dug that. I don't know what he's changing into, but I'd rather see it.
Mm.
Well, that's the thing is like I want everything that I've seen so far to change as thoroughly and as completely as possible.
Yeah, he's there. Well, unfortunately, I think they're quickly changing into Sleepy Hollow season 2.
Yeah, probably.
What did you think about this week's little story though? Freak of the week or whatever. The girl who kidnapped herself. I was a virgin Carver.
Yeah, yeah. It was a simple story. I mean, we're talking detective stories. You can't. It's really fucking hard to do anything new.
Mm-hmm.
And detective stories have been around for as long as any other damn thing. Like by the time TV even got on its feet, most of these stories had already been told in novel form. It was really hard. I mean, it's kind of like when you want to do a twist ending nowadays. It doesn't matter how clever you think you are. You can somebody's with enough intelligence can probably guide you to the right Twilight Zone episode to cite
now
your
you're
source.
Talking my language,
right?
Yeah,
but there's just so little that hasn't been done. You're not going to surprise me with like a detective show twist of the week. Blah blah blah. I just
right.
And on top of that, I couldn't. She couldn't tell where she was from. Killed me. It's like listening to like first couple seasons of True Blood had the same problem. Like sometimes they were from New Orleans. Sometimes they sounded more like Kentucky-ish. Sometimes it was just deep backwoods Alabama. Sometimes it was like more Texas. And other times you could tell they're all British.
Yeah, I was about to say if you're talking about True Blood, I'm like, well, that one girl, what's her name? What? Sometimes she was just Spanish for no reason. Just
yeah.
She just had like, wait, was that German?
Yeah. You could hear the...
she's back to New Orleans. She's back to New Orleans. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And Lady Cop, Tara on that show, she was the worst offender. She had one of the worst accents I've heard in a very long time.
That's who I was talking about, Lady Cop. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, she would
the chick that was on Arrow.
She would just drift between... Rutina Wesley, I think's her name.
Rutina Wesley, that's right. Good on you for remembering that. I could not remember it for the life.
I saw it. I mean, it wasn't like I just saw her as Lady Cop. I watched her for years on the credits of True Blood. So,
I mean, I saw her on True Blood, and she was one of those that actually made me kind of stop watching it because I just couldn't handle her anymore. I was just like,
I mean, I'll give her this, man. After the first couple of years, she got a lot better at it. But the first, it was so bumpy.
Honey, no.
It was so bumpy up front.
Oh, she's talking about I don't know when I stopped watching True Blood was right around the point where her
best life decision you made in a long time, right?
Right. I think it was somewhere in season 2, maybe season 1 even. Whenever it was that they did the witch doctor thing on her mother.
Yeah.
She became like an upstanding Christian or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And she was like, my mom, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Oh, and that her mother's character was just one of the most ridiculous, fucking unwatchable train wrecks I've seen, at least out of HBO. I would nominate her for worst train wreck ever on HBO and see what happens.
Yeah, oh man, what a bad show.
It was truly bad. They finally did something with Tara that worked for her a little bit. Like in the last season, it was like I think it was like the end of season 7 or something like that. She gets killed.
That does work.
Yeah, that worked pretty well for her. And on top of that, Sookie has her revived. She has her turned into a vampire. So she heals, but she doesn't heal with like all of her capacities intact. So she's kind of a mute, like a scary, vampirish, angry mute thing. Mm-hmm. But her dialogue was heavily improved by this turn of events.
That is nice.
It's the same show that brained Jimmy Olsen. He was eggs at the time. Brained him too. I mean, oh man.
So you'll have to forgive us. We've sauntered off, wandered off of Lucifer, one supernatural show, for a worse but more interesting supernatural show, True Blood.
But that's actually relevant, though. At this point, I want this to be like I don't have high hopes of this show ever getting into a territory where I'm like, oh man, can't wait to watch the next episode. Again, it's a hate watch right now, and the thing it can do to save itself for me is just go crazy. At least then I'll be interested.
Yeah, that's really a good call. They should go as crazy with Lucifer supernaturally
Yeah.
as Gotham has gone.
Go as deep as you want to. I mean, you're not going to offend anybody. You're not going to lose anybody. You're already losing ratings by like 1 million a week, by the way. So, around the time where you get to that 3 million mark, which is only a couple weeks away at this rate, try some shit.
Well, all of this stuff has already it's been in the can, so
Head back and edit in some, like, I don't know, freaking CGI'd parademons or something in the background. Whatever you got to do, man. Whatever you got to do.
right. Just like, Zack Snyder's talking about how Batman v Superman isn't, 100% done yet. Just throw in a shot of Lucifer looking up and going, "Oh my!"
Right.
And you got, well, nobody will care, but it'll make me laugh.
No, go. I don't know who owns them at the moment. Probably still NBC. But go over there and borrow some of the better episodes of Constantine, and then just like digitally replace Matt Ryan with Lucifer. Just throw him in there.
I felt warm inside when you said that. That was nice.
Oh, I do have one theory about it. Just to put it out there and see if I end up being right.
Sure.
Reason he can't influence her is she isn't afraid of him. I think it might end up being fear. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Is that what you're leaning towards right now?
When she said that she wasn't afraid of him, yeah, that made sense.
I hadn't thought of it yet, but she's the one who hasn't shown any. Like he hasn't been able to do anything that actually really frightens her too much. Like it.
Yeah.
This episode was the first time where she was afraid of him, I guess. So my theory might be blown as of now. So.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to be afraid with that, doofy procedural music going in the background.
I know. Also, it's a very subtle distinction, but being afraid of a person and being afraid of who a person is slightly different. Like if I say I'm not afraid of Joseph, that's fine. But if I'm saying I'm not afraid of Joseph, the executioner that's currently holding a lever attached to me, I have made a very different statement.
Yeah, you have.
So I don't know. Maybe it'll end up being something that simple. Like she's even if she's afraid of him as the devil, she's not going to end up being afraid of him as the person standing in front of her. That's why he can't affect her. Maybe that'll be it.
That is a keen observation, sir. And in case anyone ever happened to wonder why this man is my co-host, it's observations like that.
We do what we can. I liked their distinction, the one they're making in his therapy about she thinks he's getting less interested in punishing the wicked and more interested in finding justice for the not wicked, I guess. That is a neat little philosophical area to play around in. Mm-hmm. And I like that part. That's a cool camp. That's a cool sandbox.
Yeah, unfortunately, the show just made it boring.
Right. I mean, it would have been a lot better. If her therapy sessions weren't like, I mean, come on, she's just got to be able to pull off something more effective than convincing him to go to a frat party. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and the whole time this whole like punishing the wicked thing is going on, I just keep thinking like, isn't that the Spectre's job?
Right.
Am I wrong?
No, that's what I was saying. I said that in like the first episode of this review is like, this is the Spectre. This is the show that we wanted, kind of, but not really at all. And it would be the same thing. Corrigan on Constantine was a detective, so we would have had to do procedural with him a little bit as the transition happened, or we can just go straight into Spectreville, but that's a really hard thing to get on television. I mean, we're talking about a guy that moves at the speed of thought through all of time and space, and he's such an ineffable character that I don't know how you would write into him without weakening him hugely.
Right.
Which would be great. I mean, you can do like a Hal Jordan run where he kind of got his powers taken away from him for a second and it ended up being Parallax's fault. Frankly, that's actually a great idea. Let's do that. I've now talked myself into let's get the Corrigan from Constantine again and do just give me one season where he loses his powers and has to start over. Get you some accordions. It'd be awesome.
Nah. Part of it would be really cool, but then the other part of it seems like that. Do we really want to do an entire series based on like that one episode of Next Generation where Hugh becomes human?
Right.
what was it called? Q-less? For just a second, I almost thought I wanted to call it cumin.
Right.
Like, that's
You know
not
what? You're
real.
right. It would be a terrible idea to do a show where a mystical, magical creature suddenly becomes human and has to deal with. Oh wait, I believe that's where we are now.
We are DC on screen.
Sounds like a bookend to me.
You can find every episode on DCOnscreen.com. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Stitcher. We are proud members of the Giant Size Team Up Network, GiantSizeTeamUp.com. If you want a similar podcast about the Marvel Cinematic properties, go check out the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast with our friends Matt Carroll and Jeff Randall. And we're going to be coming right back with The Flash.
Flashy Flash.
214, Escape from Earth 2. And, wow, guys, we actually have some negative stuff to say about The Flash for once.
Mm-hmm.
So, check that out. Until you listen to the next episode, keep some DC on your screen and keep some DC on screen in your ears.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.